Hi everyone, so sorry for the delay here. We had some technical difficulties and are continuing to, so unfortunately we won't be able to share our screens today, but we will be walking through everything that you need to know about pinning in September. And today is actually our very last episode of What to Pin, so unfortunately we're doing it a little bit different today, but that's okay. You'll be able to go back through a full year of amazing content that's been popular on Pinterest and glean a ton of information from there. So I'm going to copy the blog post and drop it in the comments. So you can follow along with us, and I know it's going to be a little bit more complicated this time since we don't have screen share, but we will do our very best to have it make sense and help you guys sort of figure out what's going on. So my name is Megginson, and I am joined by our content marketing manager, Alisa Meredith.
Hey, Melissa.
Hi.
Thanks for having me back.
Absolutely. Always. Although today's our last day, so not always.
No, not always. But we do have some other things coming up, so stay tuned. Yeah. Yeah, so I'm excited for this one. I mean, even though we don't have the screens, we have like kind of a new feature that we're adding. So I'm excited to see how people like that.
Yeah, so if you go to the blog post, you will notice that when you click into each of the boards, it's going to take you to a brand new Pinterest account that we created.
Mm-hmm. Yes, just for trends.
Just for trends. So you won't see any of our other stuff on there cluttering the amazing trends boards.
Yeah, that's right. Okay, so where should we start? Can we start at the top?
Yeah, let's start with DIY and crafts.
Okay. All right. Well, I can tell you what I noticed.
Okay.
Do I get to start? Oh, okay. Okay, so I noticed a lot of organizing, a lot of palettes. I noticed Christmas coming up. And our old friend Rustic Farmhouse Style is popping up in DIY now. So over from Home Decor, which, always there. So that's what I saw for now. What did you see?
I definitely noticed so much more fall. Towards the beginning of the month, there were a few outdoor DIYs, and throughout the year we've seen sort of, as it moves into the warmer months, there's more outdoor DIYs, and now we're seeing fewer. And yet it makes sense because you don't want to go outside and create a DIY palette project in the freezing cold.
Wow. So can you explain something I know you just said at the beginning of the month? So the way the boards are pinned, it's showing, what are we looking at when we look at the top?
Oh, absolutely. So when you are at the top and you see the What to Pin in September, we're moving backwards chronologically through the month. So when you scroll down and you get to the What to Pin in August, that's the beginning of September. Those pins that go from What to Pin in August up, you're moving through the month. So that's what I mean when I say the palette project is at the beginning of the month because it's closer to the What to Pin in August pin.
That makes sense. So we're seeing a change even within that month. That makes sense. This is kind of a transition month. September, kids are going back to school, but it's still kind of nice out. Yeah, I'm kind of sad to see September, but nothing I can do.
In Oklahoma, it's so hot. I'm happy to see the 100-degree days go away for a while.
Yeah, I can understand that. Yeah, so I went ahead and looked to what was trending now, and I saw something interesting. I saw mesh wreaths. So for last year, we saw a lot more of the natural fabrics and materials like twigs and stuff. Those were trending, and this year it's a little more synthetic fabrics, bright colors with mesh wreaths. I'm not sure what that means, but I also saw some Grandparents' Day.
Oh, interesting.
That's trending right now, yeah. So I feel like what's trending now, if you have any of that stuff, that's what you should be promoting right now, is what's going on now. And then kind of looking ahead, content you might want to start creating now. And what I picked up for that would be like do-it-yourself Thanksgiving crafts, do-it-yourself Christmas gifts, Christmas crafts. Those would be the kind of things to start writing those blog posts now. Start taking your pictures now, so you can pin them now or very soon. And then in a couple months, when they really start taking off, your pins will already kind of have a foot in the door.
Right. They'll already have been noticed by Pinterest and indexed and all that fun stuff.
Yeah. So that's kind of our new feature, is the content planning ideas.
Mm-hmm. I noticed that bullet journals are in almost every single category this month. It's kind of crazy. I don't know. I know they're huge now. Maybe I'm just paying attention to them more because I'm in school and actually have to have my life organized. But they're growing in popularity. There's so many companies popping up. And I think that maybe this time last year was when they really started to take off.
Yeah. So do you have a bullet journal, or are you just journaling?
I'm a big fan of, it's called Tul notebooks, and you can completely customize them. You can put in grid paper and the Cornell style study paper and just regular paper. So that's my version of the bullet journal. It's already organized for me, which is good.
Yeah. So when you're going back to school, you're telling me you don't have time to do the pretty lettering and flowers and stuff?
Also, my handwriting is atrocious, so it wouldn't be good for me anyway.
I did not know. Okay. All right, so that's what we got in DIY. Anybody else notice anything?
One thing I did want to call out is a lot of these pens showing the step-by-step. Those are not images that are necessarily appropriate for Pinterest in the shape, so a lot of them are the rectangle style. But when they're put into a long DIY pen, all put together, you have a great, almost infographic style pen that's going to do really well. So even if you're not taking portrait style images, if you stack them together or put them all together, you can still have that beautiful landscape, or portrait style. Right.
Well, that's a great point. Yeah. Because I think some people feel like it's hard to get those crafts in when you're trying to take a portrait style image because they tend to be spread out on the table, but that's the perfect way to get around that.
Oh, yeah. Show the ugly process. People want to see it.
We do. Yeah. All right. Next up. Education. Since you're the one going back to school, I think you should start this one.
So one thing that was hilarious in our office was the British slang pen. So if you guys are following along with us, if you scroll back down to what's been in August, moving through the month of September, our marketing director, David, is British, so we had to ask him about that. So
yeah, he said they were all legit, too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is really funny.
We started using them, which is fun.
Turning us back into British subjects.
That's right. That's his plan all along.
So after I noticed that, I did notice this, in particular, the STEM Bends pen. I will copy the link to that and drop it in here.
Okay. Sorry. So what was it about that one that stood out to you?
So I really liked when you clicked through, it went to the person's blog, which then had links to their TPT shop, as well as links to Amazon, their Amazon affiliate link. And so that's a really great way for TPTers to not only drive traffic to their TPT store, but also earn a little bit of extra revenue through those different affiliate streams.
Yeah, great idea. I have mad respect for those TPTers.
Oh, I know.
They're so smart teaching and creating all these resources and creating a business. Yeah, pretty amazing.
Mm-hmm. And it's really interesting in education. The style of pen is very different from what you see in any other category. So it's very bright and active, and there's a bunch of stuff going on. But that's a kid. That's like what kids want. That's what teachers want to see and what they want to provide, compared to, the home decor where it's all very neutral colors.
Yeah. Oh, we're talking about teachers pay teachers. That's what TPT is.
Yes, TPT is teachers pay.
That's huge on Pinterest, and I know they do really well with promoted pins too. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, when I first started getting into helping some TPTers, I thought it didn't make sense that those images would do well on Pinterest, right? Because they weren't Pinteresty, but in that industry, it works. So it's no hard and fast rules. Yeah.
No, and it's paying attention to what others in your category are doing.
yeah, and what people like. Yeah. Yep.
Right. Definitely.
I picked up some adult education type stuff,
Mm-hmm.
which is really cool, and things that you would expect, like setting up a classroom for fall.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but that just kind of no-brainer for this time of year. But what's trending right now is early literacy, and the other thing was bulletin board ideas. Again, going back to school, they need those right now, right? So
Mm-hmm.
if you have any pins about that, maybe promote those right now. And then thinking about what you want to create for content, Christmas, another winter holiday project ideas could be really good. Reading lessons, indoor activities because it's going to start getting a little chilly. And then educational games for traveling. So things you can take in the car with you to grandma's house on the way to Thanksgiving dinner would be good to start creating right now.
That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that Pinterest really knows what they're talking about.
Well, you know how I figured that out? It was just to look at the content calendar that we have,
Mm-hmm.
and then look a few months out and look at, you know, what it says to keep in mind, and look at a few months out what's really trending at that point and think, all right, so that means we need to be creating this right now, or we need to be updating what we already have so that we can get it back out there.
Yeah, and then also it's great that we now have a whole year worth of content for this What to Pin. So you can go back next month and watch the What to Pin in October. Pinterest is pretty, you know, that it goes in cycles. So going back, even though it's now 2 years ago, a lot of that content is still going to be relevant now.
Right.
It's an evergreen platform.
Yeah. Yeah. And so while ours only goes back 1 year, what we're looking at is the previous year's
Yes.
successful content. So that's where the 2 years came in. Yeah.
Yeah. So if you scroll all the way down
Mm-hmm.
on the board, you will see the What to Pin in October and be able to glean some information that way, moving up through the month. One more thing I wanted to call out in education before we move on, and this has been true for pretty much every board, is the cross promotion of different categories within categories. So there's a sugar wafer pencil cookie, which is very much related to education and you know, getting kids excited about writing. But it's also a food recipe that could be on the food board, or it could be in the education board.
True. I did see a lot of crossover too.
Tons of crossover.
Hi, Kim.
Hi, Ken. Let's see, do we have? Love seeing these comments. Richard asked, "Where am I going?" I'm guessing that's for school. I'm just doing my MBA here in Oklahoma City at the University of Oklahoma. So go Sooners! Happy to be back in school, even though it's a lot of work. Okay, so
Yes, she is a rock star, and someone should make her those pencil sugar cookies to keep her going.
please. Tealwyn's been pretty much exclusively feeding me recently. So.
Nice. Nice.
Speaking of,
Yeah, speaking of food. Yeah, we're on food and drink.
food and drink. Okay, what stood out to you this month?
I get so hungry when I have to do this section. It was about 4:30, and I was starting to get really hungry. And looking at the yummy, cheesy, rich, buttery food wasn't helping. Because that's all there was. It was just, yeah.
Yeah, people are not concerned about that beach body anymore.
Nope, that is a lost cause, and we don't have to worry about that until spring. So,
Let's get to the comfort food.
yeah, exactly.
There were a ton of pasta dishes, and I saw a few pumpkin spice things creep in there and different squashes.
Yum. Love that.
Yes.
So what I saw that's trending is fried chicken. Okay.
Interesting.
Yeah, but mostly the fall recipes and the pumpkin. That's probably going to be eternal, right? Every fall, the pumpkin takes over the universe. So if you have any of those pins, promote those now, because that's what people are looking for right now.
I think one of my Facebook friends posted yesterday that they feel comfortable going all in on the pumpkin spice on September 15th.
Oh, okay. I didn't know there was a cutoff date. It's officially pumpkin spice season.
According to, unfortunately, I don't remember who it was. According to one of my Facebook friends, that's the cutoff.
Okay, good to know. Good to know our boundaries there. Yeah.
And I also noticed that there were a number of lunchbox ideas. So relating back to education and the going back to school, people are looking for easy, quick ways to get a nutritious lunch for both themselves and their children.
Yeah, and then for content planning, anything to do with Thanksgiving recipes or Thanksgiving kitchen hacks, Christmas treats recipes, party menus, anything like that should be in the works right now as far as your blog content and your images.
Yeah, towards the end of October into November last year, if you go to the board and scroll all the way down, you'll see a lot of like turkey recipes and mashed potatoes as comfort foods that we always eat on Thanksgiving. And then after Thanksgiving in December, we see how to repurpose all of those leftovers.
Oh, yeah. And then shortly followed by how to lose weight.
Yes. Setting those New Year's goals.
That's right. That's right.
So we have a few months of comfort food, then it's back to the diet.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, apparently. Yep. All right. Well, that plays really well into hair and beauty, which is the next one.
Of course.
Okay, so what did you see?
I right away noticed that at the very beginning of the month, there was a little girl with red, white, and blue in her hair. And at first I thought, like, that's very out of place. But we have Labor Day coming up.
Yeah.
I don't know if that would be related or if it's just one of those fluke pins that happened to take off.
Yeah, that would be my guess.
Yeah. So that one was really interesting to see in there. And of course, we've seen braids and nail art. Those are consistent trends through the entire year.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that up too. I did notice some darker colors on the lips and eyes right now, and the metallics on the eyes, and a couple of homecoming pins, which makes sense. So, and then what I picked up for trending now was a fall hair color. Everybody gets kind of bleached out in the summer, and then they want to take it back a little richer. So that's trending now. So if you have anything like that, promote that. And then for content ideas, Christmas party looks. Right, so start blogging and taking pictures about that, what to wear to a dinner party, how to pack a suitcase, because travel is going to be big for the holiday season.
True.
Yeah,
and there were a number of DIY ideas in the hair and beauty, and there always is. But I was thinking especially right now with the holidays and everything coming up, there are some that could easily make really great gifts that if you're going to be making this, you need to start thinking about it. You don't want to be last minute trying to make peaches and cream homemade soap on December 23rd.
Is that what you'll be doing?
That would be me, yeah.
But you do not do it right. Funny. Okay. So we have health and fitness.
Health and fitness, yes.
Is my turn to go first? I think
go for it.
Okay.
Pick it up
now. Still a lot of yoga. But I picked up even more keto diet stuff this month than before. Your general workout and running programs are still really big. What was the other thing? I wrote it down. More about mental health and balance. So I'm wondering, and now that the crazy pace of summer might be slowing down a little bit for people, might be time to kind of get centered. That's what I saw.
Yeah, that was related to what I had written down too. There's more of a mix of overall health and not just specifically, getting into good physical shape.
Yeah, that's cool. So what's trending now, and I can see this in real life too, and on Facebook, is CrossFit. Yeah, so that's big, and ketogenic and paleo type diets, those are big right now. So if you can create content for that, or if you have some, start, promoting that right now.
Tim says, it's crazy to think that Q4 is now for content creation.
I know. Seems really early, doesn't it? Seems like we were just getting bathing suits. Yeah.
I know. It's really strange how during these seasonal changes, how we see such a huge shift.
Yeah.
In the middle of the different quarters. It's not that different month to month, but September, May, those months we really see a big shift.
Yeah. Well, it must be how people feel working in retail. Oh, it's not time for that yet, but it is. If you're looking ahead. Yeah. So if you're thinking about content ideas, obviously you want to come up with like healthy swaps for traditional holiday treats, and things like how to stay fit while traveling. So workout ideas you can do anywhere. So if you can create content like that, start on that now.
Yeah, very true. And also just staying inside, because once it gets cold, you may not want to go outside to go running.
That's true. Yeah. Okay.
All right.
So holidays and events, that was pretty interesting. What do you think?
Holidays and events is definitely getting more interesting than it was in the summer. I was down on holidays and events during the summer, but we're getting back into the season.
Okay. So what did you see?
I saw again, we're getting very heavy into that season. There's a bunch of pumpkins. There's a lot of different fall holiday decor. And of course, there's tons of Christmas sprinkled in throughout. And it is only going to continue to increase. Yeah.
Right. I saw some theme parties based on movies that were popular at that time, too. So, whatever the big kid movies are now, maybe Minions, I don't know. But really up on kid movies, but making some inroads. And then for trending now is like decorating for fall, which isn't really a holiday, but just an event, fall, I guess. And then Halloween treats. Those are really big. So promote that if you have anything like that. Again, decorating for fall can go into home decor or DIY. Like I said, there's a lot of crossover. But as far as planning content you could create, dinner party planning, Thanksgiving ideas for traveling with kids to holiday places, again, more crossover. But I think it's helpful to know that just because you feel like you're in one category doesn't mean you can't capitalize on the other categories.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Yeah, and we actually see it in this month. There's the apple pie bites, which are in this holiday and events board, but they're also on the food and drink board. Exact same thing. Yeah, so it's a really powerful crossover example right there, because it's the exact same content that did well in both categories.
Right. Right. So we have home decor.
Home decor. Home decor, I actually scrolled all the way to the bottom to see, what was going on. And I've noticed that it's been a bit of a shift from Bohemian. It was really popular in October of last year, and we've totally moved into the farmhouse style.
Yeah. I noticed we still had a lot of neutrals, but looking at what's trending now, I still see neutrals, but with pops of brighter color. So maybe there's another shift coming. Yeah, it's really pretty. I like it a lot. So, what else? Oh, yes. Deck railings were big, like wood projects.
Yes.
Cottage style decor, which is somewhat similar to the rustic farmhouse. Yeah. So I guess we're feeling nostalgic. So if you have any of that content, promote that now. And then if you could create content about Thanksgiving and Christmas decor, dinner party decor, really pretty endless opportunities there.
And I also noticed a number of pins had, if you're looking through and you see weird little white dots, share an example in the comments. Those are pins that you can click into, and then you can click on those dots and see more content like that. So it's interesting to see those pop up in these particular pins. I didn't really notice it on some of the other boards, but this one had a number of them.
Cool.
So I think we're going to start seeing more and more of that, especially with these more lifestyle type of images where, oh, I really like this this wall art. I really like this chair. So you can click in and Pinterest will show you other content similar to it right there.
Yeah. Cool. So then we had kids and parenting. That's always a big one.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. So you already picked one up, which was lunchbox ideas. Chores for kids, fun projects for kids. That's what I found. What did you find?
I see another opportunity for TPT, Teachers Pay Teachers, even though a lot of it is focused on at-home learning. I think you can still create content for parents that will help increase your visibility throughout all of Pinterest and your blogs. So once a teacher does see your pin pop up, they'll be able to click through and notice that you are popular, even though you're not specifically necessarily selling your wares. It's still a really good opportunity to get in front of people.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, so as far as what to promote right now, what's trending is Halloween preschool crafts. So probably any grade crafts for Halloween, especially if you have those, promote those. And then it's time to start thinking about do-it-yourself Christmas gifts that kids can make. Right, that's a fun thing to do. And also still, again, travel ideas for kids.
Make sure you have a lot of popsicle sticks.
Apparently, yes. I think two, those are pretty big.
I can see 4 or 5 in this month that have popsicle sticks.
Well, they've been eating popsicles all summer, so they should have.
Yeah, so now you have plenty.
Great.
There's a ton of crossover with the kids and parenting and the education category.
For sure. Okay, and I think our last one for today, travel. Okay. Okay, you want to go first?
Travel is such a consistent category. It has been beautiful images, very much focused on that beautiful imagery throughout the entire year. I haven't noticed that many real trends, maybe around like coming up on a Christmas break and planning that. But other than that, it's really just make sure those images are eye-catching. And if you have beautiful images that are landscape style, stack them so that they're portrait style.
Right.
And catch people's eye.
Yeah, I did see an overwhelming number of Disney pins, though. I don't know if that's every month, because I haven't done it every month this year, but so much Disney. Crazy.
It's pretty much every month. Okay. Disney is huge. Huge. And we have some members that focus specifically on Disney vacations or Disney cruises that do incredibly well. Because that is, people are looking for easy ways to take their kids somewhere fun where they can also have fun. And so Disney is the perfect remedy for that.
Right. So as far as content ideas, I'm going to sound like a broken record, but again, it is travel activity for kids. Yep. Places to spend the holidays travel tips. So if there's any way you can work that into your content calendar, start working on it now. Get your pictures now so that you'll be ready for, like, say, November-ish, when it really heats up.
Yeah. And those can be shared in multiple categories and take off in kids and parenting or in DIY, all over the place.
Absolutely.
Well, that's it.
That's it. Do we have any
fun?
Yeah.
I don't think so.
Okay. Hey, we'll go through all the things and make sure you have our calendar too.
Go check out the new trends boards on our new account. It's really, really easy to see everything there. It's very organized. It's awesome. I'm so glad Alisa pushed for us to do that because it looks great.
Thank you.
Oh, we do have a question. Okay. Would you add travel if you're in the travel niche? Would you add travel if your mouth in the travel niche?
I wonder if she means if you're not in the travel.
I'm guessing, yes.
Okay, it depends. So can you make it a stretch? If you're in the kid business in some way or fashion, sure. Travel trips to take with kids or how to keep kids engaged on a car trip. If you're in the restaurant business, where to find the best restaurants. There are ways you can kind of finesse it so it makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. And it's true for most categories too. If you're a fashion blogger, you can do travel tips, or you can do DIYs, or you can do all sorts of things, because they will be related to what you're writing about and penning about, but they can fit into other categories.
That's right. Okay.
All right. Well, thank you guys. We'll be back with new content here very soon. And I'd love to hear any ideas that you guys may have on what you'd like to see from us. We are always happy to jump on and fight technology for you guys. So just let us know, and we will talk to you again soon.
Bye.
Bye.